The following video contains coarse language. Viewer discretion is advised.
And we got Maggie.
Aka.
Hi, Marge.
Hi.
Oh, she's coming all the way up.
Hi.
You're going to love that AC. Welcome to another edition of Uncle Gramma's Story Time.
Thanks for being here, y'all.
We already had the shot set up, so I didn't get to do a fun little whoop around, but
Yeah, that's good. It looks great.
it does.
You look fantastic.
You look great too, man. You look like a guy who had a lot of fun last week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Correct, he says.
Correct.
Correct. To quote, what's that, Billy Madison? Chris Farley?
That is
Correct. He gets it.
Sorry. I'm not gonna-
Before we get into anything else, is this even AI up here?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you haven't seen the start of the show before, Uncle Gramma has a pet Tamagotchi AI that he keeps in the basement of his home. And he doesn't do anything else with it except go downstairs, yell at it, and say, "Give me another picture with these words." Just like that. And then it shoots out a picture, and he says, "So sorry, master, I'll be better next time." And then he's like, "Yeah, you better." And it's a real issue. We don't talk about it. But we do
Yeah.
get these pictures, and then I have to try to guess what was the words put into his said pet Tamagotchi. And to all the T1000s out there, we appreciate you. Please don't kill us. I always have to, that's like the waiver we always have to say. So with that in mind, I see a beautiful Rottweiler with a toy on the floor, but that's just not very fun. That's a pig toy, so maybe a Rottweiler or maybe even just dog. Handsome prince of a dog eating a piglet on a floor.
That's a really nice way of saying it. You got it right the first time. It's Rottweiler with a pig toy.
It's
That's
so
it.
cute.
That's all
And
I
what's
do.
the occasion for this beautiful one?
Well, this is inspiration from the studio. The studio dog. There was a studio
Come
dog.
on.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
You hear that, Marge? There's more than one.
Oh, there.
Turns out it's not Highlanders rules after all.
Gotta love a studio dog.
The best. The absolute best. What was the dog's name?
Aggie.
Oh, come on.
Not kidding.
Did you freak out when you heard?
Yeah, kinda.
You're just missing one letter, bro.
Yeah, it was a nice 1.5 year old female Rottweiler. She's just most beautiful dog ever.
My heart.
Yeah.
I wanted a Roddy for a
Oh.
while there. They're so cute.
She's such a goofball. She's all over the place. Just a bull in a china shop,
Oh,
too,
yeah.
just running around. You got to really pay attention to your coffee when you're holding on to it because she might come
It'd
and-
pop you up.
Yeah, it was great. She's such a
a
beautiful
little
dog. That's Mike Fraser's dog.
Well, hello, and thank you for existing, Aggie, the sweet, beautiful
Yeah.
Rottweiler.
Oh, it was hilarious too because when you got a studio dog, everyone just kind of chills out a little bit,
Oh, yeah.
and like she matches your energy. And the more, say if a dog's getting rambunctious, like you don't really want to rattle the dog up when you're in the studio.
True.
So you just kind of naturally chill out. And yeah, it's like,
Brings a
I love
calm to the
having-
sesh.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love having a dog in the studio. We actually, on the Miles Canyon tune, Roaches and Willie,
Yeah.
that just came out. By the way, go to Sirius XM 171 Top Country and go listen for Miles Canyon out there. We've been playing on Sirius XM.
I've also put into the description the link to the new video.
Awesome.
So
Yeah,
that's
it's
there too
doing
if you
really,
wanna check
really
it out.
well. It's
Fantastic. And stars his dog,
and stars the dog, Peppers.
the dog.
She's in the video. She was in the live room with us while we tracked the whole time.
So
We had
special.
to stop a couple times because she was barking, but she barked in time, which
Well, of
was
course.
really cool.
It's part of the band, man. That's what she does.
Wish we could have kept that in the track, but she's just too good.
That's it.
So when we were at the studio this week, we were at the Armory Studios in Vancouver,
Here we
British
go.
Columbia, Canada.
Do you want to mention our lovely sponsors before we get into it?
Absolutely. Dr. King Palm.
King Palm.
Yeah, we.
Check it out. Cotton candy, bunny hug, super cheap.
I've been loving the flavored tips.
The best.
I got to tell you, like
Yeah.
out of all the companies that come up with like flavored tips, the little snap thing in the tip.
Yep.
Like
They're the best.
they are the best, like hands down.
Not only that, they got humidors you can see here. We got a lovely glass humidor.
really cool.
They got the dog walking, the little mini ones for dog walks real quick. Just pop, pop. They got all the flavors. They got everything you need. We got Victory cigars, a long one here. We even got the Roaming Crooner cigars directly behind me. If you don't know what that is, the great Tim Robinson in the show I Think You Should Leave. He has a whole skit based on the Roaming Crooner. And the gimmick is you paint a lovely little mural on your window, and then when you pull up beside people and you line it up to get the cigar just right. Show them a Roaming Crooner here real quick there, Uncle Grandma. Can you get up there? Yeah, you get it. That's it. Yeah, see? So funny. Check it out. Very cool. They got those things. There's a real big one. They got these giant samplers, the Royal Samplers here that they sent to us. And yeah, we're just huge fans. We love promoting them, and they send us all this cool stuff to try out and to tell you all about it. So if you're into medicating in any way, check out King Palm, man. I'm telling you. The best in the biz at what they do. We love them so much.
It's really pro stuff. It's not, gimmicky. It's not any of that stuff. It's actually really good quality product.
They go out so fast, and then they light right back up. It's the coolest thing.
Yeah, it's great.
And there's no tobacco anywhere. They're all natural leaf rolls, which is very nice, very healthy.
Very.
That's what we're all about. All right, sir, tell me all about this legendary studio that you were spending time in over the last week.
Oh, so just to start off, the Armory Studios is one of the more famous studios in Canada, let alone the world, based on the artists that have recorded there over the time. The history of this place holds so many ghosts. Like the walls.
If those walls could fucking talk, bro.
Dude.
Woo!
Like, I read about it. I've heard about it. I've known about this place for 20 years. Just based on certain bands having recorded there. I remember this is where it started for me when I first found out about it. It's a band called Strapping Young Lad.
Heavy
Devin Townsend
Debbie.
would record at the Armory. So
Hell
like back in the day, when YouTube was kind of all right, but like bands were still putting out their making of episodes, when they're in the studio and the making
showing
of
the process.
So I believe it was the Alien record by Strapping Young Lad where they had put out a making of series of videos. Like they had recorded several other albums in that studio before, but on that album specifically, they had put out these sections of video. So you could see Gene Hoglan, the drummer,
Mean Gene,
set up in the main room. Devin's going through producing, like all this other stuff. And
like when you say Alien, are you talking like Ziltoid, the Omniscient?
No, it's the album was called Alien.
Okay, gotcha. That's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure, because Ziltoid was a personal.
That was a
solo
whole
project,
other thing. Yes.
I'm with you. Just love Ziltoid so much.
I remember seeing it back then, and being like, "Wow, if I could ever have the chance to like record in a room like this,
bro,
like, this would just be insane." And like, so the Gene Hoglan, as far as the drummer in me goes, was like, he is the cream of the crop of death metal drumming and metal drumming altogether.
And I was just going to say as well, big drummers while he was still big.
When he was still big, he's lost over
so
half
much
of
weight.
his body.
It's
weight.
crazy. Like watching him sit at a kit, he filled up the whole kit.
He's an absolute monster.
And would just
he's
go.
probably 6'5". Like he's
huge
tall guy.
Yeah.
But anyway, so watching those videos back in the day was just like, I wish I could go in there with a band or to a studio of that ilk, like not necessarily at the Armory, because when I was a 20-year-old kid, that's just, it's so far beyond like my expectation in my head.
Totally.
So now as a 40-year-old man going in there with a project with Arcana Kings, we have been talking with Mike for years. He's a very popular mix and mastering guy.
Rightfully so.
Like a lot of people
want to get in there.
Use him for mixing and mastering. And, I searched up on Wikipedia. I know who he is. I know who he's worked with. It's really intimidating to go through a guy's Wikipedia and be like, oh, he was there to track the Black Album by Metallica. He was there for the Aerosmith Big Ones record. He recorded Razor's Edge by AC/DC. Like,
the resume is just second to none, man. It's crazy.
It's like, okay, are we actually going to be able to talk to this guy? Like,
That's a great point, too. That's a great question. What's the process going to be like?
Exactly. So,
Cool. So many question marks
having
going
been
in.
through hundreds of recording sessions before with different groups, and I say hundreds because it's like I've been around other people recording as well, helping in the studio that we had at the farm, helping out Chris Douglas with a lot of stuff back in the day. Not really involved in the engineering part, but I was there for the process. So I know how a lot of this stuff goes, and I was kind of wanting to take mental note all the time, just being like, oh, this is kind of cool. This is where he places mics. This is what he uses for that. So I'm going in just all nervous. And we get there on Monday morning, and we were early, wanted to set up, did all that type of stuff. I wandered in the room. They let us in, go up the stairs, go through this room, and I looked around, and there's records on the wall, and there's stuff. There's this beautiful, like, lounge area, and then it just goes straight into the control room, and then over into the live room. And it was so strange. As I was walking in, I'm carrying my stuff. I just knew exactly where I was going, and it just like, oh wow, oh, the live room, oh cool, over here. And this is where the drums would normally be set up. Oh, there's the drum kit. Holy crap, there's the housing. It's like there's the space that I remember seeing Gene Hoglan in a video 20 years ago.
And now
it's
you're
like,
there.
Now I'm setting up.
Yeah.
Like this is
That's
bizarre.
Beautiful.
So
I love that.
One of the helpers, his name's Hanson Thingvold. He's just an absolute beauty of a kid. He's helping out. Jessica, the other helper at the studio, she's there helping out. I'm freaking out. All the other guys are loading gear, keep going up and down and up and down. I went straight to the drum kit, and I went and started setting up. I hadn't really even looked at the studio. I'm just so nervous at this point, just like, I just need to get this done and set up. And I remember hearing that, oh, I have to change out the drum heads. I have to put new drum heads on everything. So I'm just switching everything out and changing all the heads. So by the time Mike gets there, everything's ready to go. And then the studio manager comes in. His name's Paul Silvera. He's just a beauty of a guy. Also, massive catalog of music that he's worked with.
That's a big theme there, I think.
And so he's sitting there, we meet, we have a little chat, and I tell him about this experience of, like, I remember seeing Gene Hoglan record in this room like 20 years ago. He's like, 20 years ago. I was like, yeah, like all the Strapping Young Lad stuff and everything. He's like, yeah. No, that's weird that you mentioned that, because the last guy that was in here was Gene Hoglan just last week doing the new Dark Angel record. I'm like, huh. Like, come on, man. Like, really? He's like, yeah, he was just here a couple days ago. Like, oh, this is insane. So I actually just was on Instagram not an hour ago, and I saw Gene Hoglan post pictures of, because it's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day
He
to everyone.
Posted a picture of him and his mom in the studio that I was just in 48 hours ago.
Like, does that not just break your brain?
Oh,
Break my brain.
It's nuts. There's so many things that broke my brain, and you're really, really trying to stay on top of it, and not necessarily trying to be professional, because I don't know how that would look. Yeah, I guess without just don't be a dick. I guess
that's it.
But don't be like overly excited,
fangirling.
Yeah.
Don't fangirl.
I think that was the thing
Keep
that I
your
constantly
cool.
had to remind myself. Just like, okay, don't go nuts.
Yeah.
Be a part of this process. Be there with everybody. And then I would sit there and realize, we're all sitting there giving suggestions for parts and whatnot in the control room. And 4 different voices come up. Hey, we should do this. Hey, we should do this. And then I realize, too many cooks in the kitchen. Get the fuck out of here. So I leave. And that would be like every 20 minutes. I would say something, say my piece, and like, okay, back out to the living room there, fill up another cup of coffee. Like, that's all I did. I drank pots of coffee every day. Every day. I think we must have gone through at least a dozen pots of coffee for the band and Mike every day.
That's a lot.
I'm not kidding.
I believe you.
Hanson was on it. That was the one thing he had to keep up with more than anything. Is make a new pot.
That's it.
And that next one's gone. Make another pot. Make another pot. You can really see how like cigarettes and coffee has made most records in time.
100%.
I start to get it now. But Yeah, there's been a lot of experiences that I've had over the years of recording with amazing engineers, and I've never had a chance to actually work with an engineer who's also not just a qualified producer, of extremely talented ear. Like, he has got an ear for things.
That's got to be
nuts.
One of the biggest, I guess, suppliers to your fangirling and to like the anxiety going into it is knowing what's come out of there.
Yeah.
And realizing, holy shit, I guess now it's time to step up. We're with the big boys now.
Yep.
It's a real test to you as a band, right?
Yep.
As a whole, to be able to sit there and, riff with these guys about how to tweak the songs and do all
Yep.
that. Because most people are like, yes, sir, right away, sir, great idea.
And I was like that for 90% of the time. It was just because the ideas that were given were right.
Yeah.
They were the right rebounder from what was already happening.
For sure.
And I'm thinking in the back of my head, oh, maybe I should have tried this. And then I get the suggestion from the producer being like, hey, you should try that. I'm like, perfect. That's what I was thinking. I just never did it. You think I should do that? You should. Yeah. Do this, do that. Awesome. Perfect.
Boom.
And then move on to the next one. Okay, that didn't work. Let's try something else. Like, sure. Like, it was so much fun for all of us to be in that experience, to actually have that sounding board that we trust.
Yeah, that's the big thing, is
And-
knowing for a fact that these people know 100% what they're talking about.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And yeah, we were all humbled very quickly by the space and by, the notoriety of all the people and everything. But then it took about 30 seconds to a minute where all of a sudden we felt like we were at home, and we felt like we needed to be there. This is exactly where we need to be.
That's the magic.
At this point in life, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
That's your
And
next step.
between Jason and Al and John and James and I think on the first 2 days, the most commonly said phrase amongst all of us was like, I don't want to be anywhere else.
Yeah.
Like, this is the only thing I want to do in life right now. This is literally the coolest thing we've ever done.
It's your happy place.
It was, and it really kind of,
Oh, are we going to
made
get into a little bit?
everything
We're
happy.
going to
So
do a little bit here?
there's a bunch of stuff here. I took pictures the whole week. I took video the whole week. I have almost a terabyte's worth of
That's
video.
a lot if you don't know what a terabyte is. I learned about that.
And
That's a lot of stuff.
This is our view from the balcony upstairs, where we'd go smoke and have coffees, and we're overlooking like Fisherman's Wharf, and you can see like North Van in the distance. Like, this is in Kitsilano in Vancouver. It's very like behind me on the other side over or that way or whatever. There's a McLaren dealership, Lamborghini, Bentley, like all these fancy cars. We're seeing guys driving McLarens around. It's like, this is wild stuff.
It's a whole different world, hey?
Yeah, and then you just kind of got to take a breather, and then you go back inside, and you're like, okay, cool. Like, finally I can get my head straight again and, like, get back into this moment.
Look at that board, man.
And getting into these types of conversations with a guy like Mike was really interesting, because when we all have these experiences amongst ourselves. Oh, I've been on the road here. We played these shows. We've talked to these people. This is really cool. And he'd be like, yeah. So yeah, we were working on this Coverdale Page record, and Jimmy was just like, I got this new thing Gibson's sending me is, the guitar strings tune themselves and whatnot. And we're like, wait, what? Who? Jimmy Page.
Jimmy Page.
Like, oh, okay.
How many
Keep talking.
How many
Oh, God.
stories? How many stories do you think that you were told while you were there, like that? Just like a little Jimmy Page, like a little 1 minute
without
little-
asking?
Yeah,
Dozens.
and that's the beauty of it, right? Because they just come up naturally.
Yeah, and like there's a lot of that kind of stuff where I wanted to videotape and like catch a story and like, oh, let's have
You
this.
have to respect the people in the
And-
place.
And he was very open. Yeah, go ahead, do whatever you want. But like, still at that point in time, it's like, I'm not going to whip out a camera Just because a guy's talking about his, oh yeah, this one time, this is pretty cool, and then I go and whip out a camera, and then he changes the way he's telling the story.
Yeah.
So it's just like, no, I'm not going to do it. There were points where cameras were on, and there was a pause in things, and a story would come out. But there are some really amazing experiences.
At the same time that we talk about hallowed ground all the time, like being in the tour van and being in the shower in the dressing room with your rec teams. Same sort of thing. Being in a studio like this, that's hallowed ground. You respect that. You know, and you learn that these stories are all amazing, but like you say, they're not for you to record and share. They're the studio stories.
Yeah. So here we are upstairs there, listening to, and there would be times where we'd all be sitting around, you'd come up and have a smoke, and then we'd ask. It was like, so, on that Donington, live at Donington AC/DC record, did this happen? What happened here? How did this work? And we're just like, holy shit, this is real. Like, he was actually there. He mixed it. It was just like, oh, man. Al's freaking out. It's like the first live concert album he ever bought ever in his life. Here's the guy
who made it.
Yeah, and he's right there and telling us about little tidbits about the behind-the-scenes stuff. One of the coolest things I remember him saying, I think it was actually right around when this picture was taken, because Angus has this, like, large reach, huge catwalk that goes way out into the crowd, and he's like hundreds of yards away from the stage, right?
Oh yeah.
And you think it's like, well, he's got to have in-ears in, so how does he hear the band? You know, all this stuff. No, Angus Young has never used in-ears ever. He's always used monitors. Everybody else in the band will use an in-ear or use monitors or whatever, but when he's running way the hell out there, how does he hear everything? And it's in at a stadium. So when you hit a snare drum, when you're sitting behind the drum kit and you hit that snare drum, you can hear it coming through your monitors, and then you can hear it coming through the fronts, and then there's a slap back coming from like half a mile away on the other side of the stadium. So it's like, pat, cut, and it's like, crazy. Holy shit. So when you think about how is he playing with a guy that's 300 yards that way, who is running the opposite direction? How are they playing in time with each other? That was one of the things that just blew me away. It's like, how do you do that without in-ear monitors?
Practice?
They basically chained monitors on either side of that catwalk all the way out.
Facilitate
and would turn them on and off depending on where he was. So there's like...
Can you imagine trying to mix that live?
And pay attention to where he is. And to know which part of the area where the monitors move. And he's running.
Oh yeah, you've seen the footage a million times. You see any AC/DC live, you always see him doing it, going right out and like full speed.
And their crew is basically just making this shit up as they go along, because no one's done this. Like, this is a first, and they're in a stadium. It's like, so how does he get rid of the slapback is what I asked. Yeah. And he just looked at me like, you don't. I was like, you just do it. I was like, well, how? I was like, they just did it. There's no secret.
Yeah, there's no science behind it.
No,
I always say
it's just try and make it work and try and play so impeccably tight with somebody 300 yards away. How?
It goes
I don't know.
all the way back to the wrestler Mankind. Right? Mankind took the biggest bumps in the world, and everyone would always say, man, you have to tell me the secret. How the hell did you make everything look so real? And he would always say, because it was. There is no secret. Exactly, because he just did all those things. And that's why he has a lot of problems moving around nowadays.
Totally.
But that's what you do. You just do it.
Well, let's see if I can find a couple pictures here. So, right off the bat,
your driver's license. You want to blur that out?
Yeah. No, it'll be fine.
My man.
So, there's a little video,
and we do have the sound going here.
Yeah. I'm doing a setup.
Look at that spot for a lot.
Just
there, eh?
Little Los Cabos.
Los
Shout
Cabos.
Out. And the room's empty. We're not set up for jamming yet. I had made cymbal choices. I had put new heads on the drums.
Look at the size.
I haven't put new heads on yet.
Look at the size of the room.
Yeah, it's incredibly large.
Does that work for you or against you?
Depending on what it is that you're looking for. So
okay. There's some skins.
There is, a downfall to having a room so ambient.
That's why I ask. Yeah.
So, for a guy like him, for a guy like Mike, he knows this room. This is his room. Like, he's done everybody from fucking Bon Jovi, AC/DC, Metallica. Like, there's stuff, you know, there's stuff from that old, like, Black Album recordings of them in the room. That's the same room. It's bizarre, man. Like, so the history with this room, there's a guy named Jim Valance who built this room, and it was called Little Mountain Studios. And then sometime, I don't know, may have been in the 80s or 90s. I can't really remember the history on this. Somebody will be able to correct me. But Bruce Fairburn, the producer, bought it from him. They did a bunch of renovations on it. They put new wiring, put new all this stuff in. So the team, the original team, when they first started there, was a guy named Bruce Fairburn, a man named Bob Rock, and a guy named Mike Fraser. So those three are responsible for most of the rock hits that you heard in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
And it all kind of was based around this place that they had honed. And as soon as one or two records were recorded there, everyone wanted to go.
Yeah.
And it was, so that was the heyday for Vancouver and the recording industry. It was like the 80s, 90s when everyone's in. Motley Crue, Poison, like everyone's trying to get their time in there with these guys. And then eventually they all kind of grow their own careers and spread in their own way. And it's amazing to hear the stories when, you know, when he says, oh yeah, when Bob did this or when Bruce did that, and you really take into consideration who Bob and Bruce are. It's like, oh man, this is friggin' cool. And yeah, so
it's like a big, beautiful time capsule, eh?
Yeah,
of all of the stuff that we love growing up.
Yeah. And so for this whole experience here, I still haven't looked at the studio yet. I came in and started doing this like immediately. I don't know where the bathroom is.
Yeah, well, you're nervous, right? You get in there, you want to
coffee machine,
you want to do your thing.
Everything. I hadn't gone into the control room, and I'm just like, I want to make sure this is right. And so right around after I'm done all this stuff, they're like, yeah, Mike's here. I'm like, oh, come and meet Mike. So I went over, just like, It's like, yeah, go grab yourself a coffee. And I'm like, I don't even know where the coffee machine is. He's like, you walked right past it. I was like, no, I ran past it. And I came straight in here. And like, it was right after that. We were just giggling with each other. And so there is a thing when you're recording. You know, when you're recording here, you do a lot of podcasts, you do a lot of stuff here.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you're in the thinking process or idea process, there can be a clash of ideas, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, maybe I want my idea to do this. I like this because of this.
Yeah.
And that happens all the time with music. There's always those spitballing times. This experience for all of us was the most positive thing I've ever been a part of.
I love that.
Because every idea that came out was tried, tested, and then basically decided upon. Like now. There was no, oh, maybe we should try this. Oh, that would be a cool idea. It's like, oh, maybe we should try this. Okay, do it. And then listen to it. No, that didn't work. Oh, what if we try that? Okay, do it. And it was like nothing went by us. We got it all done. We got all of our ideas out, and all the best things were kept. And we left it up to the producer to be like, yes, this is what we hired you for. We want your ear on this.
Guide us, Sensei. Guide us.
And so
your vision.
We had one of these songs previously recorded and had spent a full session on it and everything. And it's done. And we went in there and redid it. And it is not the same thing at all. It's like, yeah, sure, the lyrics and the title of the song are the same, but the song is not the same.
No.
There are lyrics that are changed. There are all these things that were switched over so we can make it more
And that's
updated.
not just a statement to the magic of this place.
No.
But as well, it's a statement to you guys being open and willing to make those changes, right? Because you respect the studio so much and you understand, like, if you're going to put your trust in somebody, this is probably the guys to do it with.
Yeah, 100%. And like, I tried to take as much video as I could because we're going to be putting together like what I saw 20 years ago, a making of
I love that.
the recording.
I love that so much.
I want to have that for us, just for ourselves. Not necessarily. We'll be putting it out. We'll show people and everything.
Can we put it out on the network too?
We'll be able to put it out on the YouTube. It'll be on our Canada Kings YouTube. I'm gonna edit some of this stuff once the music starts coming back. But between the 5 of us, we all have footage. Like it was absolutely nuts. There's been a couple experiences in my life where I've been truly starstruck, and
that's huge coming from you because you've met a lot of people. Just saying.
There are a few, but there was something about this place is like, please just curb that at the door. Like, don't be starstruck.
Yeah.
Just be in the moment, do all this stuff. And if something hits you later on, accept it and be okay with it. So, every time I'd go upstairs and go outside on the balcony, we'd be walking past this pinball machine that was gifted to Mike and the studio and Bruce. And it's pretty much is it in here? Where is it?
What kind of pinball machine is it?
It is a one of a kind,
of course,
signed AC/DC pinball machine.
Yes.
It's in mint condition.
Of course.
I don't think it's left that building. It went straight in there. They all signed it. Here you go.
If you were to put a price on that thing, dude, it would be a lot.
I don't think there is
a lot. Yeah.
There are things in there that there shouldn't be a price on. There shouldn't be any of these things. Here, maybe I'll. I can send some of these videos to my account so I can show them. Or no, I can't. I took so much stuff. All of my cloud storage is full.
And when did you get home? Yesterday?
Yeah, got home like 1:30 yesterday.
Yeah. See, you're like still getting yourself back together, man.
Yeah.
It's a
and
huge.
I gotta buy like another hard drive so we can store all this stuff and like
never stops.
Yeah, it's great. So I don't have the other video of it. I have it on my phone. Who cares? But there was one of the exciting things that happened at the end of the session. Our good buddy Hanson, one of the helpers, or runners as they call them, he's there to do whatever it is you need to do.
Running.
If we needed smokes or groceries or anything like, he's gone.
He's going. That's it.
We didn't push him to do any of that stuff, but he was there to help. And he noticed James constantly asking Mike questions about Van Halen recordings, because amongst other people, he recorded most of their stuff too.
No surprise.
So experiences hanging out with Eddie Van Halen for James is just like, it's like you're talking about the Lord, Yeah. So Hanson's like, yeah, I should go check out this thing in storage. I'll bring it out for you guys. So on the very last day, we're done. Everything's done. He's like, come out to the kitchen. Come check this out. And there's a previously played Eddie Van Halen Music Man guitar before Ernie Ball and Music Man made the custom Wolfgang guitar. This is one that was made specifically for him. He used specifically for this one recording, and he signed it.
That was it.
And he left it there. And there it is in the box. Original strings, the setup's the same, the whammy bar is set the way he wants it, and James is like, shaking, trying to go into it.
It's the damn holy grail, bro.
And for the rest of us standing around watching James do that, I almost cried.
Yeah.
Because that was one of the most beautiful things that I've ever seen, is 100%. Watching this man who has an idol, and now he gets to play his instrument.
Gets to touch something that touched him.
And do the things on that guitar that he learned from videos. And he's like, I wonder if it's easier to do on this. And he's sitting there smacking around on it, doing these cool things, and it's like, holy shit, James. He's like, it's so much easier on this guitar.
It all makes sense.
Yeah. It was really, really
love
cool.
That dude.
And
hell yeah.
And cool thing, I shout out to Jessica and Hanson for making this experience really amazing for us. Not just Mike, but these two are right there at the drop of a hat. If they hear somebody needs something, or if Mike needs something, or anything, Paul, whoever, they are just boom, gone. And it's amazing. I wish I could have had a job like that when I was there.
Man, no kidding. Hey, the stories they'd have.
And that was the thing. That was the one question I wanted to ask them.
What's the weirdest thing you got sent out for?
Well, not that. It was like, do you get starstruck? And it's like, these kids weren't born when most of these amazing records that are on the wall are there. So I could see maybe they'd be like, oh yeah, that's interesting. That's cool. You know,
but not having that connection.
No, like, true connection, because it didn't come out when they were alive, right?
Yeah, they couldn't experience it
Their
to its full
parents
potential.
loved it.
Yeah.
And in Hanson's case, his dad worked on a lot of stuff. So like, it was cool to hear, especially from Jessica's point of view. I asked, it was like, have you ever been starstruck in here? And the cool thing she said is like, yeah, when I met Mike for the first time, the guy that she's been working for 3 years, like, was legitimately, you know, I don't know what to say, first day of the job kind of thing, right?
Totally.
And that was really cool. And then the second one, she's like, I don't want to seem strange, but my mom is a massive Nickelback fan. And when Chad Kroeger came in the building, I just went,
Yeah.
oh, and like, I don't know how old she is. She's not very old. Like, she might be 23, 24 years old. And for her, that's something she immediately, when he leaves the room, she's just calling her mom. It's like, oh my God, what just happened? Oh my God, it's so crazy. Yeah. But
I'm losing it, bro.
yeah. And it was kind of the same thing for all of us. Every time we would look up and it was like, really? That record was here. It's like, I thought I'd seen all these records on the wall. It's like, okay, wow, shit.
And it's so crazy. Like, even trying to compare it to anything, like,
I can't.
To me, I would say something like a John Williams, like the greatest composer of all time. Every single movie you've watched, he's done the scores for.
Yes.
Like, still to this day, I'm finding movies that John Williams has composed the soundtracks to. And, you know, it's always still surprising to me where it's like, holy crap, that's John Williams too? That's John Williams too? You know, like, you're still learning. Like, you're walking through there, that album too? Like, those guys too? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't stop because they've been there for everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And like, just having a guy sit there this close with you the whole time.
And seeing the setups, like, you see all these things in like music videos and shit. Hey, you don't see them in person, like giant boards like this.
And a couple of the things that I noticed, it was like, yeah, I'm taking all this cool footage. Like, this is awesome. Why does this seem so familiar? Because it's the same bloody room. It's the same board. And in certain cases, it's the same guy.
Yeah.
It's like,
Right down
that's
to the
why
guy.
it's so familiar. So many people have been there doing this. Like,
So crazy.
and yeah, we got to have our chance. And like, as you can see, Jessica's sitting right there, taking notes, doing things. And if Mike looks out the side of his eye up over at her, he wouldn't even say something out loud.
She just
And he'd just kind of look and he'd just be like, yeah, number 2, switch it over to whatever. And then she's gone. And it was like, what did they just talk about? What did they just say? Next thing you know, there's an amp in the room. There's another amp. Oh, we've got to get this. Well, we've got to tune this. We've got to do that. And like, they have this shorthand with each other where it makes everything so much more efficient for us when we're recording. But like, I couldn't figure out why he wasn't saying it at full volume. Like, just like, hey, can you help me grab something like this? It was like, no, there's guys that are in a moment. And so it was almost like
unspoken connections.
This shorthand was to help everyone stay in the moment. And without him admitting to that, that's just what I saw.
That was your perception of it.
And because after drums were done, I sat for 3 or 4 days of just watching everybody go through this process, trying to videotape not just them recording the part that's going to be kept, but recording all the stuff of them chit-chatting in between, trying to work on things. This is important for us to remember.
Yeah.
Because we were kind of stuck in those moments, not knowing how we're actually acting and reacting. So to have that all on video for us to watch back and be like, holy shit, I was so nervous when he said this. Or
I just shit my pants right there.
Yeah, and when he said great job, it looks like I'm about to cry because I am about to cry. I just got validated, it feels, you know, like
absolutely, man.
It was quite the experience. So I can't wait for this stuff to come out. It's going to be a couple weeks, possibly into the months. We have some other stuff that's going to be tracked off-site that's going to be sent to him for mixes and everything like that. But
incredible.
We are definitely of the mind that we are going back to record more. loved the experience, want to do it again. And the other cool thing about what Jess was doing was, like, I'd never seen anybody that meticulous. Mike never asked her to do most of this stuff. She just did it on her own. But as soon as something was done tracking, we're leaving it there until we're done. So if the drums are there, the drums are staying exactly where they are. And if somebody went and bumped a mic stand, she would run out there, take a tape measure to it, and take a picture and make sure it's exactly where it was before. And then all of the references for everything. So going in and taking pictures of absolutely everything and tape measuring the whole thing, documenting it all. So just in case we come back in a couple months, we can set the drum kit up exactly the same way. It's like,
and that's the
I've
difference.
never seen that before.
That's the difference between a guy in his basement and a place that's been doing this at the elitist of elite levels for a hell of a long time, bro. That's the difference.
I've done a lot of drum tracking where you measure out all the spots to make sure where all that is. I've never seen it done afterwards just to make sure you can replicate it. And like that was
little things.
Even Mike looked at us. He's like, these guys are too efficient, but they got nothing else to do. So just let them do
Let them
thing.
find what they're doing.
Let nerds be nerds.
That's it.
Yeah.
Man, that's magical, dude.
So I'm sure I'm going to be talking about this stuff for the rest of my life.
Yeah, well, rightfully so.
There's a lot of really cool shit that we recorded that won't be kept, but we have it on video for posterity and whatnot. And yeah, so over the next little while, I'm going to edit some of this stuff together and get her going.
Very excited. Very excited for you and the boys. Like, this
Thanks.
is such a huge, huge deal.
Yeah, you can tell I won't shut up about this.
That's the way it should be, man. Your excitement, like, it's always contagious, right? If you're pumped about this, someone else will be. Like, just listening to you talk about it, it's got me amped up.
Yeah.
Like,
So
this is pretty damn cool.
This is going to be good for the summer. We're going to put it out probably for the summer. Get everybody all amped up. We have a lot of great things coming down the pipeline. Like I said, go check out Arcana Kings on all the social medias and everything like that. Pay attention to the YouTube and our socials because we will be putting out little teasers of these two new songs over the next little while. Make sure to go out, continue asking your radio stations for Roaches and Willie by Miles Canyon.
Hell yeah. I'm still trying. I got to hit up Croker over on the Bull.
If you got Sirius XM, you got Top Country 170, channel 171, text in there. Like, this is really cool stuff. We're actually going to be, we were told in the beginning that this wasn't for mainstream radio. And over, I think it was a 10-day span, there's over 20,000 streams. And mainstream radio turned around and said, you know, I think we got this wrong. We're going to put this on mainstream.
Funny how that works, isn't it?
Yeah. It's weird how some people think they know, and then the world will tell them.
I'm not touching that with any coal.
Now go out and request it on your favorite local country station, wherever you are. Help us out. We want to get this music out there.
Yes.
Mike's an amazing dude.
Links
writes amazing
in
stuff.
the describes for you. You can check it out. The video is right there. It is oh so good. Are you going to play us out with anything today, my friend?
I kind of just want to, I wanted to find this video of Aggie.
Aggie.
Because she would just chase us down all over the place. It was great.
You can't leave without a puppy video.
I think there might be sections of this where there's some puppy in there. Quite possibly. Well, actually, I'm going to leave it on this story here. This is kind of a neat story that Mike was telling Al. So I'll just let this play and see how it turns out. How's our volume in there, Gary? Is that too loud?
It'll give you the
right.
proper tunes. Yeah.
Cheers to Mike Fraser.
Sure, it's already happening.
We were doing the Coverdale Page thing with Jimmy. This guy had come out with a guitar that you can change the key of it. Just push a button and all the tune pays. So checked it out because Jimmy's always writing in different keys and that.
Yeah.
So I'll try that. So you push a button and it'll freaking go in. It was really cool.
Oh,
but
shit.
it did sound great because they would take the guitar, they'd have to hollow it all out for all the electronics and stuff to go in it. So all your sound's gone.
It didn't have the full body sound.
Yeah.
You worked with Jimmy Page.
It was a bit gimmicky. yeah.
Fuck.